Hey y'all, it is your favorite nerdy girl here, Nerdygirlreviews. We are back. I just took a quick break, but I have definitely been enjoying and ingesting as much TVs and movies as I possibly can. Last night, which is so funny because I'm still reeling about what I just saw. So I treated myself to AMC, which I may become a member. I'm not entirely sure. So I treated myself to a double feature, and I usually don't do that, but they are two films that I was just really curious to check out. One was Is God Is, which I did thoroughly enjoy. I think it hit a little close to home for me, but I'll make reference to that when I review that film. But yeah, definitely got very Quentin Tarantino, Kill Bill vibes from that film. And plus, I mean, we have the very talented Vivica A. Fox in that film. But I feel like that needs its own review. All this to say is that when that movie let out, which was, I don't think it was a very long film, it was like an hour and change, they were about to show the other film, which I was curious to check out. So I believe this film is it's been out for a little minute. I think it's called Obsession, and boy was I pleasantly surprised. I don't think I have been on the edge of my seat as badly as I was. I There was no relaxing moment. There were instances of comedy which I liked too. I think even in scary or tragedy, scary moments and in tragedy, there always exists some form of laughter. So there are some comedic beats in this film, but you are literally white knuckling through the whole process. And it's not a long film either. I don't even think it's 2 hours. You are at the edge of your seat. It's almost as if you just was like, oh, okay, let me get on this crazy roller coaster ride. And even though I know the bumps are coming, the bumps don't bump like they would normally bump. And all of a sudden you're like, what? So all this to say, spoiler alert, because most of my reviews are spoilers. What a ride this was. I also feel like even though this is very fresh and a new spin on storytelling of this type of genre, which by the way, I feel like this now joins this collection of rich storytelling that even though it lives in the world of fantasy and things that are maybe perhaps supernatural, it still touches upon the human condition. That's what makes it scary. So I think this joins like Hereditary, Bring Her Back. No, talk. Yes, Bring Her Back. Bring Her Back, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Bring Her Back. Because I was shocked with that film too. And Talk to Me. And what was another one that's just like this? The Substance. I mean, there's a lot of body horror in this film as well, but it touches on the on our ego, our sensitivities, the human condition. Our main character of Baron, is your typical not so confident, shy, reclusive, probably just hasn't adapted to social cues, even though he's in his 20s, lonely kind of dude. I mean, he doesn't find himself like detached from the world. Like, he's not a loner. He has friends. But is he as transparent about his feelings, or can he communicate what he wants or how he feels? Well, no, he doesn't. He always kind of like curbs his emotions for whatever reason. We don't explore that, and I'm okay with that, because I feel, unfortunately, in the last maybe 10 to 15 years, we've been spoon fed a lot of information. Perhaps also too, it leaves a door open if in case this story is ever revisited for like a sequel or prequel. But we just get the meat and potatoes. This is a guy that's love struck with this leading lady, a friend who he works with, and she was always nice, and he falls in love with what he thinks he knows of her. And I always bring this back as I wear my John Mayer t-shirt. um, I love that song. I don't trust myself with loving you, because there's a line in that which also rings true to the human condition. Who do you love? Do you really love me, or do you love the thought of me? And we do this as humans sometimes. Like, we, when we have these like celebrity crushes, or even people in our lives, like, you're physically attracted to the person. There are elements of that person as a human being that you believe you're falling, or you have fallen in love with. But when you get to the nitty gritty of that person, could you really live your life with this person? So the concept behind this film is that be careful what you wish for. And like a number of other reviewers have mentioned, it's like the monkey paw effect. You think and also kind of like the fair warning for people who also dabble in magic, because sometimes what you set on the universe, you might get it, but it's not the way you thought it was going to be. So because he's not confident, and she even confronts him, because like she's getting a feel for him, like he's trying to come across as flirty. He drives her home after them hanging out, him and his coworkers, this quartet. And you would think he's like, I'm gonna be brave, I'm gonna tell her what it is. And he fumbles it, and she's now getting aggressively mad, because she's not aware that he may like her. And so she even confronts him, like, do you like me? And then he had a clear opportunity to confess himself, and cowers. So before they even meet up and hang out, she had mentioned something in a call, like she's very much into this like spiritual world thing and meditation, and she loves like these particular crystals and whatnot. And she had a crystal necklace that happened to fall, I think, down the drain or something like that. So he goes into one of these like spiritual places that has spells and books and candles and whatever, and he's trying to find her crystal but can't make a decision of that, and happens to come across this little kit that, not for nothing, we've seen these things. Like, I mean, at least, like me in my case, as being a New Yorker, you happen to find these little tiny mom and pop shops that have these little novelty things, and you don't genuinely trust that they're true. So I think it's called One Something Willow. Wait, hold on a second. It is a One Wish Willow is what it's advertised, and it looks like old-timey too. So this is why I said, like, this is like very reminiscent of like Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypt kind of feel, that you're like, should I? I don't think this thing is even real. The fact that it looks cute, it looks like the print looks like something straight out of 1950s. And then there's a number in the back, and it's like, oh, you make your wish, and it's one wish, and it comes true.